Hello, smart investors. I welcome you to today's episode on our real estate made easy. Today, quickly we'll be discussing about deed of assignment, the important points you need to know about real estate transaction document, particularly deed of assignment. What is deed of assignment? Deed of assignment is simply a document, a legal document that transfers the ownership of a real estate property from one party to another. Now, this document is very important because it's what shows that the interest of a party has been transferred to another party. So the possessor of the land is transferring his or her interest to the new buyer. That was simply what deed of assignment is. Now, what are the important points that must be included in a deed of assignment? One, the names of both parties that are in this transaction, that is the name of the property seller and the name of the property buyer. So that is very key. The name of those parties has to be in there. The addresses of both of them, the addresses of those who are selling the property and whoever is buying the property, as well as the responsibility that is expected to be discharged on both parties, including their successors, is very, very key. It has to be uh, documented. Another important point you should also find there is that the history of the same property that is under consideration that is to be transferred. How is it first? How was that same property? When was it first purchased? How was it first acquired? And of course, up those information up to the present moment that is to be transferred. Then another point that should be there is the agreed price at that time the property is to be transferred. How much is this property going for? How much as a buyer paid for it, and how much is the seller selling it? So that document, the agreed price from both parties, needs to be documented on the deed of assignment. Then other than that, also a detailed description of the size of the property under consideration has to be documented, as well as its description, where besides in terms of location is that same property. This is to be able to distinguish property A from property B, such that a buyer of property B will not trespass or encroach the property of that of A. So a detailed description of the size, the location has to be properly documented, and of course this will come, and the knowledge of the survey plan is very key in this area. No, those are some of the necessary documents I told you earlier on that you need to have when making real estate transaction. So it's very important that the detailed description of the size of the land you are buying has to be documented. Where is it located? What is the size of it? So that you can know one side A different from side B. That is, a plot A is different from plot B. So if you are buying plot A, you know that yes, you are not to encroach plot B, and if you are B, you are not to encroach on the property of A. It's as simple as that. And of course, also last but not the least, very importantly, a section for the governor consent or the commissioner of board to append their signature to, of course, so that yes, to ensure that this deal is done, and then this transaction is of the known of the government. I hope with this very few points you know some of the important key points that you have when you are making real estate transaction and you are collecting your deed of assignment. Those points are very key. Deed of assignment is a very important document that you do not joke with when you are making real estate transaction, because that is what shows that truly you are paid for this thing and you are in the right possession of it. You can do whatever it is by law that is enables you full possession of it, and you can also as well sell to other person, because all of this has been improperly. So the responsibility of the previous buyer and those obligations, you are assuming them, because now the land is in your custody, and because of the fact that you are paid for it and you are having the buyer and the seller is transferring his or her interest to you as a new buyer. I hope with these few points you will understand better some of the important documents you have when you are making real estate transactions. Should you have any other questions you would like us to answer, please do not hesitate to contact us. Don't also hesitate to drop your comments and like this video if you find it very interesting. Of course, feel free to share. Of course, sharing knowledge is beneficial to you and to those whoever you share it to. Till we come your way again next time, please stay safe and stay smart. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.